I'm trying to get some shots of my birds for Instagram, but as you can see, they don't agree at all. And I can blame them. Usually they are free ranging all over the place, and they would rather continue doing that and hang with their buddies than striking a pose in front of the camera with me. So I have to come up with a plan to make this easier for everyone, causing as little stress as possible for the animals and myself. So the plan is to make a poultry photographic studio. Let's do this. For stuff like this, I like to use what I have laying around. And for this project, I'll be using these pallets for legs, for the table, for the birds to stand on while I take the photos. They're also tall enough so that I don't have to squat when I photograph. A little back bending will be required, but I think this will work. So I'm doing the setup to fit this particular lens. It's a 60mm macro 2.8, and it's the lens that I've been using for the last 12 years. I guess 99.7% of all my photos on the Instagram is done with this lens. Okay, so this is the plan. I'm gonna stand here with the camera. This is the chicken. I'm gonna make some walls on each side so they can't escape. And it has to be wide enough so that the camera don't see the wall, and small enough so that the space isn't too big. I want them dead center so that I can get my shot without having the walls in the frame. I might do something with the surface because it's a little bit coarse and you want it to be as smooth as possible. Because when lights hits an uneven surface, it will create shadows. So this is not the tool you normally use for a job like this, but I just got it. It's fresh out of the box and I have never tried one before. So we need to do this. Okay. So now we have an even surface that we can paint, and if I glue this on top of the other one, we don't have to use any screws, and that would be a good thing. Alright, so now we're almost there. This is how it looks. Initially I set it up to be able to take a horizontal picture, but then we would need way more background. But since this is for Instagram and all the photos that I make are in upright position, I did it like this instead. So I cut the table in half, and that way the space they're in is also smaller, so it doesn't give them that much room to walk around. What I want is for them to stand in the middle, but they are chickens and ducks and I can't tell them to do that. I will try with some treats, of course. So my plan is to put the chicken in here, put some treats on the table, do a couple of shots and bring it back out to the others. It's also important that if the chicken starts moving around in there, there's no sharp edges and nothing that she can get hurt on. So this now works as a funnel. It's walls on every side except here. So this is the only entrance and the outrance. This is the entrance and the exit. And if these walls were solid, no lights would come in to lighten up the chicken. That's why I made them with the chicken netting instead. So the chicken won't go anywhere, but the light will get in there. Also, for keeping the stress at a minimum, it's a good thing to be prepared and set up the shot and the light before you bring in the animals. You will probably have to tweak the lighting though. Chase hair is made of fabric and is blue and brown. The chicken are white and have feathers, and that absorbs light in a different way than chase hair does. Now all that's left to see is if the chicken will be as calm and quiet as chase hair. Kom igjen da. So that was Earl. I think that went pretty well. He didn't seem too stressed about the whole situation, except for when he crapped all over the table. It kind of looked like he was more interested in the paint job than anything else. So I painted it white to match Earl's colors. Obviously it won't stay white for very long, at least not when he takes a dump on it. But I could just paint it again, and if I wanted to look different, I could paint it with another color. I could use some fabric, maybe a blanket. I could cover it with flowers or some leaves or snow. For this next shot, I'll use some fake plants and grass. I would like to use real grass and plants, but it's a rainy November. And my hopes are it will look something like this. But again, I can't tell them where to stand, and most likely they will walk all over the place, as far away from me as possible, not in frame. And that's the thing when you take pictures of animals or kids or drunk people. They don't take instructions that well. They go wherever they're not supposed to, and they poop. So ideally I would make this deeper so that the background will get more out of focus. I would also prefer to have more space upwards so that I can place the lamps higher if I wanted to. And if I didn't have lamps like these, I'd probably make it next to a window or small enough so that I could carry it outside and use natural lighting. So you don't have to have professional lighting to get stuff done. So this is me telling you to get stuff done. I think this is a great way to take photographs of animals by yourself. You can have rabbits in there, puppies, lizards, snakes. The best is of course to have an extra set of hands, but they're not always available. And when you want shit done, I think this works pretty good. Alright, so head on over to Instagram to see more photos, like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.